Essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less. Greg McKeown. Get ready for a transformative listening experience that will help you live with more purpose, more clarity, and less wasted energy. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. And hit the like button now to make sure you never miss any optimized summary on productivity, focus, and a success mindset. Summary of the book, Essentialism, the Disciplined Pursuit of Less, by Greg McKeown. The author brings us a concept that is both simple and profound. You cannot do everything. You need to learn to choose deliberately, to prioritize, and to say no. Essentialism invites us to look at our daily activities and identify which ones truly generate impact, so we can cut away the excess that only steals our time, energy, and focus. The essentialist rejects the idea of being constantly multitasking at any cost. Instead of rushing to meet every demand, the essentialist carefully analyzes what truly matters. Greg McKeown shows that making conscious, intentional choices is the essence of living better. After all, if you try to embrace everything, you end up doing nothing well, and you feel stressed, exhausted, and frustrated. He says the path of essentialism involves 3 simple but powerful steps: explore, eliminate, and execute. First, explore all options and opportunities, analyzing what truly has value. Then, eliminate what does not directly contribute to your central goal, even if it seems attractive. Finally, execute what remains with total focus and dedication, making sure the essential has free space to flourish. The author highlights that the essentialist does not act reactively, but deliberately. They do not let themselves be dragged along by the rush or by other people's demands without filtering. Instead, they make tough decisions, establish clear priorities, and remove obstacles that might get in the way. This process requires courage because saying no is not always well accepted. But it is the only way to protect your time and energy. Greg McKeown brings the story of Sam Elliott, an executive from Silicon Valley who found himself overwhelmed with tasks, meetings, and demands after the company where he worked was bought by a larger, more bureaucratic group. Sam wanted to impress everyone, so he started saying yes to everything, and as a result, he lost quality in his work, became anxious, and even disappointed the people he was trying to please. At the height of his stress, he received radical advice from a mentor: do only what is essential and nothing more. Sam decided to try. He started saying no to almost all requests that were not aligned with what he considered a priority. He eliminated participation in unnecessary meetings, stopped replying to emails that did not demand his direct action, and stopped getting involved in meaningless projects. Little by little, this attitude transformed his routine. He realized that by dedicating himself only to what was truly vital, he regained control of his time, improved the quality of his deliveries, and even gained more respect from colleagues and bosses. The fear of seeming lazy was replaced by the confidence of someone who focuses on what truly matters. This is the power of essentialism: less but better. Instead of advancing a millimeter in 1,000 different directions, you move 100 meters in one direction that makes sense. This applies to your career, relationships, and even personal projects. The essentialist makes difficult choices, but those choices free up mental and energetic space for what truly brings satisfaction and results. If you haven't subscribed or liked this video yet, do it now. That way you support this channel and make sure you keep receiving optimized summaries to apply in your life and achieve high performance. McKeown explains that essentialism is not about laziness or avoiding responsibility. It is about discipline and courage to prioritize, to say no, to refuse invitations and projects that do not fit your greater purpose. This prevents you from being swept away by the urgency of others and forgetting what is truly important. Think for a moment. How many times have you accepted a task just to please someone, even knowing it was not essential? How many hours have you lost in pointless meetings, in commitments that only filled your calendar without generating any real value. Essentialism wants to free you from that cycle, showing that you do not need to please everyone, but rather stay true to what is really worth it. Insights optimized, saying no is liberating and essential. Doing less, but better, generates real results. It is not laziness, it is prioritization. The essentialist focuses on impact, not quantity. Courage to refuse irrelevant tasks creates respect. Constant multitasking creates stress and low productivity. Choosing is an act of discipline and power. Fewer distractions mean higher quality. Every tough decision makes room for what matters. You were not born to please everyone. Keep following this transformative listening experience, which will teach you to completely change the way you work, live, and make decisions. If you haven't subscribed or liked yet, do it now. To guarantee access to optimized summaries on productivity, focus, and success mindset every week right here on the channel. Continuing this Essentialism book summary, in the previous block, you saw how essentialism can be liberating by forcing us to say no to demands that add no value. Now, let's dive deeper into the fundamental pillars of essentialism, which Greg McKeown calls the foundations for a more focused and effective life. First pillar, choice. Understanding that we always have the power to choose where to invest our time and energy. Even if the world pressures us to say yes to everything, we can resist and make conscious decisions. This is the essence of essentialism, choosing deliberately, not automatically. Second pillar, the prevalence of noise. Almost everything around us is noise. Tasks, invitations, meetings, projects that seem urgent but have no real relevance. The essentialist trains their perception to identify what is truly important and cut away the excess. Greg McKeown shows that investing time to distinguish what is vital from what is trivial makes all the difference in the long term. Third pillar, lose to win. The reality is that we cannot do everything. We need to let go of some things to achieve more significant results in others. Those who try to keep all doors open often end up not going through any. Accepting that you must lose to win frees up energy to invest in what has the greatest potential for contribution. These three pillars, choice, noise, and losing to win, structure the essentialist mindset and help us make safer, more assertive, and more aligned decisions about what truly matters. Greg McKeown reinforces that by internalizing these principles. You become capable of acting as a true essentialist, someone who lives with purpose and does not get lost in superficial activities. This clarity brings lightness and consistency to all areas of life. He also recalls the inspiring example of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, lost almost everything: freedom, reputation, even contact with his family, but never lost focus on his essential objective, ending apartheid. Mandela managed to transform all that time of suffering into preparation to lead a historic change. He knew how to eliminate resentment and distractions, focusing only on what would truly make a difference for the cause he defended. This example shows that even under the most extreme conditions, applying essentialism can make us stronger and more resilient. After all, it is not the amount of tasks you do that defines your worth, but your ability to choose the right tasks. Insights optimized, you can always choose what to prioritize. Noise is the biggest thief of focus. Losing some things lets you gain much more. Clarity brings courage to say no. Focusing on what is essential reduces stress and increases results. Mandela turned suffering into an essential purpose. The essentialist seeks impact, not quantity. Delegating or eliminating superficial tasks is wisdom. Prioritizing takes discipline, but is worth every effort. Living with purpose frees you from meaningless hustle. And now, tell me, can you identify in your current routine what is truly essential? Or are you letting the noise take over your time? Stay with me, because in the next block, we will discover practical strategies to apply essentialism in daily life and truly transform how you act. Let's keep going on this listening journey designed to help you live with more purpose and less wasted energy. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and hit like yet, do it now, so you make sure you keep getting optimized summaries about productivity, focus, and success mindset every week. In the previous section, we talked about the pillars of essentialism: choice, noise, and losing to win. Now, let's go deeper into the practical application of these ideas in daily routines and corporate environments. Greg McKeown teaches that essentialism is not just a theoretical concept, but a disciplined strategy to act efficiently without falling into the trap of trying to do everything at once. He describes how essentialist leadership works, using the example of Jeff Weiner from LinkedIn. When he took over the company, Weiner could have followed the typical Silicon Valley culture, trying to chase every opportunity at once. But he chose a different path. He told his team they would only pursue the best opportunities and taught a principle that became famous: fewer things, done better. This philosophy strengthened communication within LinkedIn, giving clarity, speed, and quality to decisions, because everyone knew exactly what to focus on. Greg McKeown explains that essentialist leaders do not speak in codes, nor do they change their minds at every meeting, leaving their teams confused. They are direct, communicate clearly about what matters, and keep their messages consistent over time. This way, their teams feel secure and can clearly tell what is essential from what is just noise. This type of mindset also applies to your personal life by establishing clear priorities and communicating those priorities to the people around you. You avoid misunderstandings, overload, and frustrations. Saying no might feel difficult at first, but constant practice will make others start respecting your boundaries. Greg McKeown recommends that you practice essentialist discipline by starting small. For example, when invited to a meeting, ask yourself, is my presence here truly essential? If the answer is no, decline. Likewise, when receiving an unexpected task, question, does this contribute to my main objective? If it does not, politely refuse. This repeated training helps mold the essentialist mindset until it becomes automatic. Another point the author highlights is the importance of building smart routines. He cites research showing how creative people build fixed processes to free up mental space. By deciding in advance on schedules, priorities, and sequences of action, you save energy and avoid wasting willpower on trivial daily choices. This creates a flow state in which productivity and creativity move forward without unnecessary interruptions. Greg McKeown also reminds us that true progress comes when we celebrate small wins, delivering small tasks well instead of overwhelming yourself with 1,000 unfinished ones generates motivation to keep moving. This sense of control over what is essential gives you confidence, focus, and satisfaction. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and hit the like button yet, do it now, so you continue supporting this project and guarantee you will receive valuable summaries to transform your mindset and productivity. Continuing this essentialism. Book summary, pay attention, because in the next block, we will see how to apply all these principles in a practical way to reach a state of flow and live more lightly, productively, and happily. We have reached the end of this listening experience, which has shown you how to prioritize better, say no without guilt, and focus on what truly matters. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and hit like so you can continue receiving optimized summaries about productivity, success mindset, and applied psychology every week. Greg McKeown closes his book by reinforcing that essentialism is not just a productivity technique, but a way of life. It means living intentionally, choosing clearly where to place your energy and time, and rejecting the excess that distracts you from your purpose. By understanding that not everything has the same importance, You create space for what truly generates impact and satisfaction in your life. He reminds us that many people try to please everyone, say yes to every request, every opportunity, and end up frustrated, stressed, and without concrete results. The essentialist does the opposite, prioritizes courageously, filters invitations and demands, and invests energy only in what truly contributes to their objectives. Greg McKeown makes us reflect on a key question. If you could only truly excel at one thing, what would it be? This powerful question helps guide all other daily decisions. By answering honestly, you start to align tasks, relationships, and even daily habits with that greater essential objective. He also shows that essentialism does not eliminate difficulties, but brings clarity to deal with them. By filtering what does not make sense, you free up mental and emotional space to react better to adversity. It is as if you carry less weight and, therefore, can walk farther. Another inspiring point is realizing that the discipline to say no, although difficult, at first becomes liberating over time. People start to respect those who show focus and clarity, and you yourself feel safer and more confident to protect what truly matters. Insight's optimized living essentially is living with intention. Clarity allows you to prioritize without guilt. Not everything deserves your attention. Saying no creates space for what matters. Asking what can I be excellent at guides decisions. Focus reduces stress and increases results. Essentialism frees you from excess and confusion. Fewer tasks, more impact. Courage to refuse generates respect. A clear purpose strengthens your choices. To finish, Greg McKeown reminds us that the true power of essentialism does not lie only in cutting away superficial activities, but in protecting what truly makes sense to you. The essentialist does not overload themselves, does not live to impress others, but channels their energy to live better with more meaning and less waste. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you make sure you keep getting these optimized summaries full of practical learnings to transform your routine and your mindset.